diet or something like that.
Right.
But food is so available, it's becoming our drug of choice.
Yes. And is that part of the routine as well? You think that someone gets in a routine where the only break they take from work is for a lunch or for a snack?
Well, I know that was the case with myself. When I finally realized that, it was a huge aha, that it is socially acceptable to go take a coffee break, to go get a snack. But if you're at work in the middle of the day and you said, you know, guys, I'm just going to go take a nap, you might not get the best response that
Possibly.
you're looking for.
Don't go under your table or your desk and your boss will find you.
Exactly. So
Right.
instead, I need a snack. And that is something we've been taught to, that it's okay, that you do need a snack. You have to keep refueling. But the truth of the matter is, many times food is not what we need at all, but we go to it. It's quick, it's easy, it's there.
Now, we talked a little bit before about the meditation process, maybe whether part of this.
Well, I'm a huge fan of meditation, and I know that for some people that sounds really daunting. They're like, I can't calm my brain for a minute. How am I going to sit and meditate?
Yep.
So the key is that you really just want to quiet your body and quiet your brain so you can really get in touch with what's going on inside. For example, if I'm super stressed at the end of the day and I reach for the chips because that's going to satisfy me, I'm not really getting to the issue underneath. And the issue might be that I had a stressful day at work and that I just need to sit and relax and chill. But if I'm not hearing what's going on inside, I'm never going to know that. And I'm going to keep doing this habit, which will become more and more of a habit. Now, if you're the person who has a meditation practice, fabulous. But if you're not, don't despair. I deal with a lot
Don't get overwhelmed.
Don't get overwhelmed, because I deal with many very type A, stressed out, busy working people. And I like to start them on just a minute. 1 minute of closing their eyes, breathing deeply. It just calms the nervous system. And most people say, I can do a minute. And then when they've got that minute down, we go to 2 minutes. And then slowly over time, 10 minutes seems really doable. And it's a huge gift to yourself.
And whether it is first thing in the morning or middle of the day or end of the day, I think each person can figure out when they have that time to give to themselves. And again, every life is different, whether there are children involved, schedules with schooling or work, spouse, all that kind of thing. But find the minutes in your time, whether it even be at work, at lunch, that you can go do that.
True, and I like to tack a new habit on with an old habit. So if you wake up and have coffee every morning, say, okay, I'm going to add a minute of breathing with my coffee. If you drive to work, okay, every time I hit a red light, let's do some deep breathing. And before you know it, it just becomes a natural thing for you to do.
Get it in your routine.
Get it in your routine. I have one client who is a very busy CEO, and she just grasped onto this deep breathing thing instantly. And she started running every single meeting with her organization, with everybody doing a minute of deep breathing. It got everybody present, focused, and she found that the meetings were way more productive than they were before.
Well, like you said, being present in our lives, I think that's the key word that is big for everybody, whatever it is. Single mom, work, whatever, being present and just realizing what you need. We often think about what everybody else needs or wants, and we give ourselves to everybody else.
Well, yes, there's actually two good issues in that point. Number one is being present. When I look at you, you're looking at me and not at your phone or not at something else, and I actually get much more out of that experience.
Right.
But also that self-compassion piece and putting ourselves higher on the priority level. Instead of taking care of everyone around us and ignoring ourselves, when we take care of ourselves, we can be a better
for everybody else.
Friend. We can be a better wife or mother. We can be a better employee or employer because we're taking care of ourselves.
That's right. That's the key here. So busy, stressed, and food obsessed. Go get it. Help yourself. Take care of yourself. Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll be right back.
Do you love to win prizes? Pick up a copy of Arizona Player at casinos, hotels, visitor centers, AJ's Fine Foods, or go online to ArizonaPlayer.com or their Facebook page. Win concert and sports tickets, gift cards, casino getaways. Plus, you'll find tips to play better poker, blackjack, and slots, and entertainment stars coming to town. It's all inside Arizona Player.
I'm like a boxer in a ring. A small boxer. You don't expect much, and then wham! I hit him with huge, creamy goodness. All right, round 2. Bring it, girlfriend.
Rich, creamy, 100% natural cheese. Mini Baby Bell.
Snag a little bigger.
This President's Day, you're free to get an Ashley sofa and love seat set without going into deep debt. Just choose the color and fabric you want. Your choice, just $19.99 a week without paying interest. And delivery's always included. Only at Rent-A-Center. Yeah, you can do that.
Don't go in there.
Why would you go in there? What?
Wait, it's over?
No, I think it's
I get it. The sudden cut to black is a metaphor for mortality.
actually.
We studied this director at film school, very avant-garde. Miss Ho!
It was just buffering.
Don't let buffering be an unpleasant surprise. Lose DSL and get Cox high-speed internet with speeds up to 33 times faster than basic DSL, as low as $19.99 a month. Ask about a $200 prepaid card.
I mean, directors have done that. Suddenly cut to black in the middle of the action. It's a rarely used technique, but it's been done.
Stream seamlessly with speeds up to 33 times faster than basic DSL, as low as $19.99 per month. Call today. Ask about a $200 prepaid card.
No, seriously, it's a style. Leaving us wanting more.
Yeah. More speed.
Why wait? Get speeds up to 33 times faster than basic DSL for only $19.99 per month. Call today and ask about a $200 prepaid card.
Celebrity Name Game is back, and it's better than ever.
You go to this to eat wings and you get to see boobs.
Don't miss the all-new season of Celebrity Name Game.
Weeknights at 6 on AZTV 7.
You are going to learn so much in this segment, and you're also going to say, I'm so hungry because of all the terrific stuff at Ticos. First of all, we're going to teach everybody what Ticos means. The people of Costa Rica. So when you're talking about the food of Ticos, you're not talking about Mexican food only.
Correct.
Latin food,
Latin
right?
food, yeah.
You know, and how does she know? Because she cooks it. This is Karen Gerard. Yeah, that's the one that fixed that terrific thing for you at Ticos, located where?
It's 7th Street, north of Camelback on the west side.
Yeah, say that again, because that's really the most important.
7th Street, north of Camelback on the west side.
You can't miss it. Ticoz with dishes like these. Oh, let's start over here and tell me what you made.
So this is our Latin Passion. This has our green onions, pinto beans, corn, tomatoes, cilantro, jack cheese. We have the tortilla strips with our Latin Passion dressing.
Oh, what a great lunch, dinner, yes, anytime.
Hey, add meat to that or fish or...
And right next door?
And next door is going to be your chopped salad. This has your pinto beans, your garbanzo beans, hominy, grilled zucchini. We have red onions, feta cheese, and pumpkin seeds along with the sherry vinaigrette.
But I want to tell you right now, if you have occasion to talk about every ingredient in these great dishes, we're going to run out of time. Because this one is quite simply described as...
the pork chili mac and cheese.
And I describe it as my wife Duffy's favorite dish at Ticos. We had that one special evening when a whole bunch of folks came over at the invitation of the folks who take care of your public relations. And I'd never had a mac and cheese dish like that in my life.
You also had the paella too, didn't you?
She remembers. Do you remember the beverages that I had?
No, I can't get you that far back.
I don't remember them either. But you
Must
have
had enough then.
But you have beverages, though. You have a lovely bar.
We do. We have an amazing bar, an amazing bartender, Jared. So
Yeah. Okay.
he does a great job.
I didn't get on a first name basis with him. I just said, could I have one of these? And then I think I also said, could I have one of these?
These are the blue corn enchiladas, very popular, served with the zucchini and the rice.
Wait a minute, just a second. Hold on. This looks like it may be guacamole.
The guacamas?
This is my wife's other favorite
I knew
dish.
she liked that one. Remember she came in and you had me get a little bit for her to try. She liked it. I knew she liked it.
Okay, but if you said guacamas, it sounds like one of those made-up festival things that people have instead of Christmas. So what is guacamas made out of?
It's guacamole and hummus mixed together.
Oh, But you think, okay, well, anybody in the world could come up with that, hummus and guacamole, but they didn't, and Chico's did. We get around to the desserts.
So over here we have our brownie sundae served with ice cream and topped with caramel, made in-house.
Is there a reason why you have this?
For when I put the barbecue sauce on the salmon.
Are you going to show me?
Would you like me to?
Yeah, please.
Are we ready to plate?
Well, sure, absolutely.
Okay. So we
I'm
start
ready to
out.
watch you.
You don't want to help me?
No.
So we start out with our rice. We like to put it in a little container like this.
Do you mind if I eat the guacamole while you're telling me
Please.
this? Go ahead.
Presentation is always important. Then we take our sauteed spinach. We're going to put that on top right there.
See, that does not look like what people would associate with something like Mexican food.
Correct. But
this comes from some other
still
part
have
of
to
Latin
be
America.
healthy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little healthiness to this.
Okay.
So we're going to take our salmon, which is grilled. Normally this would be also, the barbecue sauce would be done on the grill, but for TV purposes.
Okay, the barbecue sauce is Chico's recipe.
Correct. It's a chipotle barbecue sauce.
Mm-hmm.
It's made from scratch. So we're just gonna layer that. We wanna get both sides, so you get barbecue sauce on both sides.
I hope you're paying attention to this so you can try it at home, fail miserably, and then just go to Chico's.
And we'll do it for you. Little lemon on top. And there we go.
Okay, now what do I ask for when I come in?
You would
And I want
order
that
the chipotle barbecue salmon.
Will you tell me more about the concept of the menu? Because if people think it's a Mexican restaurant, first of all, they're wrong. It's a Latin restaurant.
Correct.
You don't order mac and cheese in a Mexican restaurant.
No.
Okay. What is the concept, though, of Chico's? Is it all over Latin America?
Correct. We like to take all different kinds of cultures, put them together, and then we have the combination of the Latin cuisine.
If you have to narrow it down to one dish that people continually ask for over and over and over again.
Blue corn enchiladas.
Blue corn enchiladas, it just automatically sounds terrific. And I know that it will be because right after the show this morning, you're going to leave those here, aren't you?
Everything's yours.
Well, it's very important because the Board of Health insists on that. You know that. Terrific, great variety of things that you're not going to find at some of those other Latino restaurants. Latin food, Chico's on 7th Street where?
And north of Camelback, west side.
Yeah, and she's the one who's cooking for you. I'm Pat McMahon.
I want a career in healthcare.
A career where I can help others.
And increase my earning potential. But what path is right for me?
With a medical specialties degree from College America, you get the education you need to succeed in a wide variety of healthcare careers. We'll even provide you with your own laptop so you can study when and where it's convenient for you and keep it when you graduate. Find your career track. Call now for a no-obligation consultation.
Call 623-383-2287 or visit collegeamerica.edu.
What would getting rid of stubborn fat in just one day give you?
No matter what I did, it couldn't define my waistline. And that's where Sonobello came in. My confidence is over the top better.
Only Sonobello offers the experience of over 60 board-certified plastic surgeons who specialize in advanced micro-laser body sculpting, a life-changing procedure that removes stubborn fat in as little as one day with minimal downtime.
The way that they can shape my body back to what it was before has been amazing. I forgot I looked like this.
And right now at Sonobello, getting the body you've always wanted is even more affordable. Just call 800-803-2386 or go online to get a free no-obligation consultation and learn about payment plans that can fit almost any budget. And for a limited time, get $250 off your procedure. Get your free no-obligation consultation and $250 off your procedure today. Call 800-803-2386 now.
Now it's time for the McMahon Minute on the Morning Scramble.
Okay, what would it take for all of us to sign a moral referendum to never do Valentine's Day again, huh? The screaming and gnashing of teeth you just heard comes from florists, greeting card companies, and restaurant owners. In other words, the people who cash in on our most sensitive feelings. But do you really need to be reminded once a year, every year, to be loving? If you do, then your heart's not really in it. I mean, will a guy suddenly be perceived as a romantic devil if on one day in February he brings home flowers or takes his honey out to dinner? Hey, if you really want to score points, do it in November, but be prepared for her to pass out. Isn't love supposed to be a year-round thing? And why do we always associate it with romance? How about loving that person you haven't seen for ages with a surprise phone call? Or asking that elderly person down the street if you can lovingly walk their dog? Oh, if you're angry right now with all this because you still want roses, remember, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm Pat McMahon.
This portion of the Morning Scramble is brought to you by Tim's Auto Group. You can count on us, serving Prescott since 1983.
There you are. It's a Monday morning on Morning Scramble. Nice to have you with us. I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's weekend. Always fun to celebrate love, isn't it? Well, great show today coming up. We have got one of my favorite historians. He just always has some interesting stories for us. And we're going to find out about the Borscht Belt. I'd never heard about it before, and this is not something you wear around your waist. Also, we have a special delivery author with some great books and a plein air artist. So a fun, very kind of artistic show coming up today. And so first of all, Bill Weiss, nice to have you on with us again, Mr. Historian.
Always happy to be here, Sandy.
Well, the Borscht Belt, I've never heard of this thing before. What in the world was the Borscht Belt, Bill?
The Borscht Belt was a series of resort hotels in the Catskill Mountain regions of New York, about 110 miles north of New York City. It was the Jewish Alps, the sour cream Sierras, as they used to call it. It was the favorite resort of working class and poor Jews. And it evolved in lockstep as they reached the middle class until about the 60s when everything began to change. But until then, it was a glamour spot, a high spot of Jewish life in New York City, and a legend everywhere because of all the people that it launched.
And what years was the Borscht Belt?
Well, just to trace it briefly, Sandy, it started out with some dairy farmers in the Catskills. And at the turn of the century, 19th into 20th, tuberculosis was the #1 killer of urban dwellers, and so the antidotes were thought to be fresh air, milk, and sunshine, all of which were abundantly available in the Catskills. So these guys began to advertise their dairy farms as sanitariums. And this wasn't an attempt for them to mislead people. They just said, spend a little money and be healthy. So if you had a few bucks put by, you, or more likely your marriageable age children, would go off to one of these sanitariums for a few days, loll in the sunshine, eat 3 enormous kosher meals a day, and take a break.
Yeah.
And then eventually they saw that this was a better way to make money than dairy farming, so they converted to hotels.
Phenomenal. Okay, why Jewish people? Why was this so popular with the Jewish people, Bill?
Well, a couple of reasons. One is that these were Jewish farmers, and so they knew their own people. Secondly, they could guarantee kosher meals. And third, they posed it as something that was for good health, and good health has always been very important to Jews.
Wow, okay. And so other people didn't go? I mean, you'd feel uncomfortable if you weren't Jewish going to the Borscht Belt?
Well, that's a very interesting point, Sandy. Alone among American resorts, the Catskill Mountain hotels never were restricted. For one thing, the owners had all experienced anti-Semitism or worse in their lives, and they weren't about to perpetrate that on their guests. And not to put too fine a point on it, the only color that mattered to them was green, and the only denominations that were important were 20s, 50s, and 100s. But until the 60s, not many non-Jews came up to the Catskills, probably because the atmosphere had so much what we call Yiddishkeit, Jewishness, that some of them felt a little strange, as if, especially with the comedians, because they would tell these jokes and do these shticks, and you felt like you might have been dropped in on a foreign planet where the aliens were speaking a different language.
Did you say you had a Borscht Belt joke for us, Bill?
Yeah, well, a typical Borscht Belt joke of the era would be Mr. Goldstein turns 95 and his pals over at the Miami Beach Swim Club decide they're going to have a little fun with him. So they hire a stripteaser to show up at his door dressed in full regalia. She rings the doorbell and I'll take the soup.
Okay, that's good, Bill. I'm loving that. Okay, so what was the Borscht Belt like in its heyday? What would we see?
Well, in its heyday, you had all of these grand hotels like the Concord, which was the largest resort hotel in the world until the big places in Vegas got built up. It was nonstop activities, singing, dancing, being entertained by singers, comedians, dance teams, food by the ton. And the idea, and you had these lobbies that were lavish, the amount of food that you could eat, and the figure of merit there was order everything. Can't do that now, that's not politically correct. And then you had the people who, the entertainers, they called them tumblers because they created a tumult. And so if you were at the pool, the tumult was playing Simon Says and doing all sorts of grand things.
Real entertainment.
Oh, real entertainment.
You know, in interpersonal kind of entertainment.
Yeah, giving things away. And then some of the places like the Nevele, where my wife Sandy and I spent our honeymoon, were known as honeymoon places. This was the place to go if you didn't have enough money to go overseas. So 52 years ago when we went there for our honeymoon, that's where we went. Big tradition at the Nevele was 4 o'clock, got to go back to your room and change your socks. You know, foot hygiene was very important at the Nevele. So we were among all of our fellow honeymooners.
Okay, I think that's kind of interesting. Why is the foot thing so important?
Oh, you
that's
know,
very clever.
It was, you know, an excuse to be cozy.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, it's like a line, like come see my etchings or something like
Yes.
that. Okay, so big hotels there. A lot of big hotels were there?
Oh, yes. Concord was the biggest resort hotel in the world, but Grossinger's was the most famous. Grossinger's boasted, we have everything. It started out as a farmhouse in 1914, and at the end of the day, Grossinger's had his own airstrip from which the first egg embryos were flown to Israel that later became the basis of Israel's poultry industry. The Grossingers launched the career of Eddie Fisher, who became the biggest singer in America, and Eddie reciprocated by marrying his first 2 wives at Grossinger's. Now, not together, you know, he wasn't a bigamist, but his first 2
I'm
wives.
glad you cleared that up.
His first 2 wives, Debbie Reynolds and Elizabeth Taylor, he married them at Grossinger's to pay them back for the great break that they gave him.
Well, and a lot of big entertainers got their start at the Borscht Belt.
Oh yeah, you name them. Henny Youngman, Alan King, Joan Rivers. There were just, the list goes on and on and on.
Well, that's interesting because Hollywood has always been known as a big Jewish enclave of directors and everything. You know, it's very, very creative place. So the Borscht Belt, is it still going? Did it fold? What?
Well, it was roaring along until about 1961 when 3 black clouds came out over the sunshine. One of them was the improvement in the economy starting in 1961, which you'd think was good for them.
Yeah.
But what happened was when our economy transferred to a service economy, a great many people, including a great many Jews, made a leap into the middle class. And so the Catskills was been there and done that. They went elsewhere. Winter vacations became popular. Florida and the Caribbean beckoned. Then the second was the introduction of jet aircraft. And jet aircraft revolutionized the travel industry. Now you didn't have to be constricted to a 3-hour drive to the Catskills. 3 hours could get you to Florida.
Ah, fly to the Caribbean or something like that. Well, a fascinating place, the Borscht Belt, and you will be telling more secrets and fun stuff about the Borscht Belt at this Sunday.
This Sunday, 2 o'clock at Temple Brith Shalom in Prescott, 908-708-0018.
All right.
If you want more information.
Yeah, come over. It's not no charge, I suppose.
No, there's no
All
charge,
right.
and refreshments will be served.
It'll be like the Borscht Belt.
Jokes will be told.
All right. Bill Weiss, thanks for joining us. Fascinating. Okay, don't go away. When we come back, we're going to have a special delivery author with us. We'll be right back.
Why do we go to work each day?
To help you build it, fix it, or install it.
We are locally owned and care about relationships. We know our customers by name.
It's not just a transaction. We're community-based, we're Little League, business, and charity sponsors.
What is a true accomplishment worth? The pride and achievement in doing it yourself.
Every project has a value, and at Prescott True Value, we are here to empower you to do it yourself.
We are so much more
than just a great hardware store.
When the city lights fade, our lights get brighter. When your night needs life, ours comes alive. When you want to do something different, we say, come out and play.
Come experience the Mountain Springs Buffet. All you can eat starting at just $8. Cliff Castle Casino Hotel voted #1 casino in Arizona 16 years in a row.
Tim's Family Auto Group now offers complimentary concierge service. Too busy for a service appointment? Tim's will pick up your car anywhere in the Quad City area and have it serviced for you. Or drop off your car for a prearranged service appointment and take advantage of the concierge member $10 an hour car rental so you can run your errands. Concierge members now have access to Tim's no hassle, no appointment drive up service. Tim's Concierge Service, making your life a little less stressful.
Let's go to school.
And we have a special delivery author with us. No, she does not have a stamp on her forehead, but there's a reason I'm calling her that. Nice to have you with us, Nornie Isley.
Thank you very much.
So Special Delivery is the name of a book that you have written, a children's book.
Yes.
All right. When did Special Delivery come out?
Special Delivery came out in 2014, but I wrote it years ago, and it started out as a letter to my nieces and nephews in Alaska because we were driving from Phoenix to Anchorage, and I was not looking forward to that long trip. And I thought if I could just jump in a box
just be there.
and be there, you know, let the mailman deliver me. It would be much easier. So that's how it started.
So you concocted a fun story. Had you told this to your nieces and stuff? I mean,
I wrote them a letter first,
okay.
and told them that I would like to do this, and then it evolved
a
into
cute concept. Background, had you written books before? Are you a writer? Why did you do this? I mean, other than the motivation for this one, you know.
Well, for one, I was read to as a child always, and then I read to my children, and I love children's books. I collect children's books. And there's some wonderful ones out there right now. I mean, just great stuff.
Yeah, I know, it's true. Well, you have another one, and this is about animals. I'm a kind of an animal freak. So Fuzz and the Skunk.
Fuzz and the Skunk.
And what is Fuzz and the Skunk about?
Well, Fuzz and the Skunk is a true story up to a point. And we moved from the Mountain West to southeastern Arizona and bought a remote ranch between Safford and Wilcox, and we had it was a ranch, and we had skunks and critters all over the place, and the skunks would eventually find their way into the tack room and eat the barn cat's food, and I
they are polecats.
Yes, and the story evolved from that.
I see. And so Fuzz is who? Who is Fuzz?
Fuzz was my daughter's kitten, and she was petted and pampered from birth, and then we had a raft of barn cats, but Fuzz was the boss.
I see. She had to deal with all these interlopers.
Yes.
Okay, but you have not stuck to just children's books. You also have an adult book out on a serious note, spirituality.
Spirituality is a personal essay. I lost my daughter and her family in a car accident years ago, and it evolved as a way for acceptance and to cope with.
Sure, for healing. And so, I mean,
Yes,
I think
right.
so many people turn to writing. In fact, they say all the great writers and poets, it's tragedy that makes, look at Shakespeare, for heaven's sake, that makes, things coalesce. So, but you have a special dedication in spirituality, Nornie.
Yes, it's to my daughter, who was killed, and
she inspired you.
yes,
too,
and
in other ways.
I tried to write about her a year or so after she died, and I couldn't do it. It just wouldn't come. And then, but somehow, through experience and a lot of spiritual help and guidance, I was able to
do it. Do you feel like it's sort of a template, maybe in some ways, your path, your journey in spirituality, to help other people who are going through terrible tragedies?
That was the reason that I finally put all these things together. There's a series of spiritual musings and poetry. I'm really a
You do
poet.
poetry too.
I'm a poet, Sandy. It's everything is in rhyme, or a lot of it is in rhyme.
Sure. Well, prose is very close to poetry, of course, and it's the same thing, this writing from your heart. Well, the illustrations, for instance, in your children's books, you have a special illustrator. Tell us a little bit about the illustrations.
Yes, Mary Beth Benton is from Tucson, and I found her on the internet, and I was taken. She draws kitties, and she has a lot of kittens and cats, and so she just does this wonderful job, and she illustrated both my children's books.
Nice.
And I found her online, and but we've never met in person. We've never spoken on the phone.
Oh.
We communicate through the internet.
And a great partnership.
Yes,
we were
it
saying a lot
is.
of love starts through that way too. They don't even know each other, but you get to know each other on email.
Well, I love her writings, and she's a fine person, I know.
Nice. Well, we had some interesting pictures up there. So you've been doing this for a long time. When did you start writing, Nornie?
Probably about 25 years ago.
So when you weren't a kid, and this was
No,
later on
I
when
wasn't
you
a kid.
decided you're going to do this,
Right.
you know.
And it just sort of happened. And this ranch we were on was so isolated that you had to entertain yourself, and we read a lot, and that led to writing, and
you just built all your talents. Very fun. Well, now you're a realtor here in Prescott.
Yes.
And a wonderful author. You've had book signings. We'll look forward to some more book signings and things coming up for Special Delivery in Spirituality and Fuzz and the Skunk. Nornie Isley, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Sandy, so much for inviting me.
You bet. Don't go away, because when we come back, we have another artist, this time a plein air artist. We'll be right back.
Do you want holiday pricing and hometown hospitality? Prescott Honda's got it during the Honda President's Day sale.
Get presidential savings all month long at Prescott Honda. Hurry in for our best selection of new Hondas and drive a new Civic for only $149 a month. A new Accord, only $179 a month. Or a new CRV, just $199 a month.
Prescott Honda on Willow Creek Road or
PrescottHonda.com. There's something to be said for exploring the world around you, for seeking out the new, for trying the untried, for doing the undone. Why should snacking be any different? Discover all 9 flavors of our creamy cheese and tap into your curiosity. The Laughing Cow. Reinvent snacking.
What makes Thermacare different? 2 words. It heals. How? With heat. Unlike creams and rubs that mask the pain, Thermacare has patented heat cells that penetrate deep to increase circulation and accelerate healing. Let's review. Heat plus relief plus healing equals Thermacare. The proof that it heals is you.
It's just a cough.
If you could see your cough, you'd see just how far it can spread. Robitussin DM Max soothes your throat and delivers fast, powerful cough relief. Robitussin DM Max, because it's never just a cough.
Save thousands on your new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram at York during Ram Truck Month. Buy a brand new 2016 Ram 1500 Express Quad Cab for only $25,880, or save up to $5,000 off MSRP on a new Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4 or Jeep Overland 4x4. See more Ram Truck Month specials at YorkDodge.com.
It's my goal that you never have to leave town to get the vehicle, deal, or service that you want. See you at York Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Here's your 3-day weather forecast, brought to you by Prescott True Value. We're so much more than just a great hardware store.
And we are back with Dane Chinook. Now, he's a plein air artist, and we'll find out what that is too. Dane, nice to have you with us.
Nice to be here.
So, you are a painter. You have been painting since you could walk, practically.
Basically, yeah.
It just, was this inside you? I mean, it seems like it's just, to some people, it's something that is just there all the time.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Did you have to learn a lot? Did you feel like you just always kind of did your own art?
I just kind of did my own art. I didn't start learning really about how to paint technique and stuff like that until, in the last 6 years or so.
Wow. Okay, which you do have an interesting history now. In high school, was it, where they just said, look, you're too talented, just go off and work with oils because you can do it. Other kids are like, don't touch the oil. It's,
Yeah. My art teacher in high school was Mike Murphy, and I showed an interest in oil painting, and he gave me free rein with oil painting and canvas, and I just took to it and loved it.
And this is still your medium, pretty much, is it?
Yeah, ever since I started oils, I didn't go to anything else.
No acrylics, no charcoal, none of that. It's just like that's where your heart is. Well, I love oil because you can go over and over. It's like, I don't like that, I change that, so that's...
Scrape it off,
Yeah, that's kind of nice. So tell us about plein air.
So plein air painting is obviously in open air, and I started doing that actually just within the last couple of years, sort of as an exercise to the eye-hand coordination and being quick with the paints. And
because you're capturing nature, you're capturing it right there.
Right there,
fast as you can.
Yeah, and so I started out doing sunrises. To try to work fast, you've got to catch those colors before they're gone.
Oh yeah.
And
you don't use like your cha-ching camera and then paint and then...
Well, I take pictures for reference later.
To fix it up. But I know, that's interesting. Well, and it's P-L-E-I-N, in case, non-artists out there might think we misspelled that.
Right.
But a French term, is it?
Yeah, French term.
For outside?
Painting in open air, yeah. Okay. And I think they started doing plein air because they didn't have cameras back in those days. So they would go out and do a plein air sketch and then take that back to the studio and, render a
Well, yeah, because you think about it, if you're in a little, artist garret or something, you have to use all your imagination. If you're actually outside painting as it happens, but you're kind of an outdoors person anyway.
Yeah,
so you're like
a lot of backpacking, yeah.
So you said just the last 6 years. So you painted, it was just like there when you were a kid, you loved it, you did a lot of painting, and then you just kind of did something else for years.
Yeah, I raised some kids for years. And then they started getting older, and then I got back into painting and realized this is really what I want to do with my life, and so started doing some mentoring with a couple of local artists, and Robert Knudsen and Paul Abbott for a little while.
And I know Paul. He is in my mind one of the finest artists that ever lived. I'm not even kidding you. He is like a master. He's like he worked in Paris. He lived in Paris. He was actually getting his star was rising in Paris, and then he came to Prescott, and most people don't even know about him, but tremendous. What a great
he's amazing,
mentor there.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, there you go, Paul. If you're watching, you'll love it. So what kind of style do you do?
I use a palette knife. I trained with a brush and have been using a brush, but local artist here does palette knife, and I saw his work and I thought, that's what I like, that's what I want to do. So I picked up the palette knife, and you get a nice smooth edge or some crisp lines, and a lot of thick paint you can apply there, and it's.
And they're just showing this painting behind us that you've done, and this is kind of the same as sort of almost an impressionistic. Or you go more kind of towards that with
towards
the light painters or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because what does that give you more depth with your palette knife?
Yeah, you kind of feel like you're sculpting a little bit, moving the paint around and getting some thin and some thick, and yeah, it's I like it putting lots of paint on the canvas.
Okay, now here's the thing that I find interesting is that you have to, with oil, you have to like step back to look at it to really see what it is. So how do you do that? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm having trouble when I get close to things then far away. My eyes have to adjust because you're close, then you're far away, then you're close.
Yeah.
But again, you know, you really see this with this as you back up. It becomes a different. You see things differently.
Right, right. And that's kind of impressionism. Is when you're close up, it just looks like colors splattered on, but when you back up, it kind of all comes into focus, and your eyes, you know, work the scene out.
Yeah, it's like perspective, a kind of a perspective that you get on.
Yeah.
You know, I remember an artist told me one time that you paint what you see, because sometimes we see things just as a whole like that from a distance, like, oh, that's what it looks like.
Right.
But when you actually break down the scene and look at it in actually pieces, you see things that you wouldn't even think they're there. The way the light plays on it might be a gray instead of a blue or something.
Exactly.
Is painting tricky? Do you find painting very tricky?
Yeah, painting it's more of a frustration than a joy sometimes. Just trying to figure out, you know, you see a cloud and it's white, but actually there's green and blue and pink and yellow all in that same cloud, and so it's putting them all together. It can be really frustrating.
And that's the trick of an artist.
Yeah.
You know, it's to see those things that the rest of us we just see in a blob, and then, but if you see a cloud that was just white that you thought was white, it wouldn't look like the cloud that you're making three-dimensional. Why painting? Exactly. Why do you love painting so much, Dane?
Well, growing up in Arizona, I've just been really attracted to the Southwest. You know, just the landscapes and the monsoons we have here, and the sunsets, and just the vast openness. And I've always just been drawn to that. And with art, I was able to put it all together, and I've always had a love for painting.
Right, so you've got your other stuff out of the way now. You can kind of do what you want, and it's painting. Do you feel like your style has really transitioned a lot during your painting? And of course, you don't know where you're going with it.
Yeah, I never know where you're going.
Have you found you've hit your soul mark, or you're still experimenting?
I think I might be there, but you know, there's always progress to be made. For sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen some of your paintings on the screen, and you know, it's just fascinating. You have a Picasso quote that I kind of like.
Yeah.
About
So Picasso said, "Everyone's born an artist." Paraphrase: "Everyone's born an artist. It's a matter of staying an artist as you grow up."
As you grow up.
Yeah.
Which is so much. We have so much magic. Sometimes when I feel like I'm out of the magic, Dane, I put Hook on and I watch Hook, because you go back to that childhood, you know, because Peter Pan loses his kidness and has to go back. And so, but painting gives you that access to that delight in the world and stuff. Well, and you share it with us. You're on exhibit at Row Gallery in Sedona. Is that tell us where that is?
Row Gallery is up in Tlaquepaque in Sedona, Arizona, and just recently got in there, and pretty excited about that.
Right, and you just paint. I mean, that's it. You don't do sculpture. You haven't done other forms. It's painting for you.
Yeah.
With oil and canvas.
Yep.
And now plein air. And subjects pretty much landscapes?
Pretty much landscapes. I've done some animal stuff, but I really like to let the viewer explore the scenes that I like to see.
Right. Fabulous. Well, thanks for joining us, Dane Chinnick.
Thank you,
Fabulous to have you on and show your work. And now we can go up to Row Gallery and see it there, too.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Sandy.
All right, Dane. Thanks. Don't you go away. When we come back, we'll be right back on Morning Scramble. But I did want to tell you that Tim's Auto Group now offers a concierge service. Now, you can make your car life less stressful. I don't know about you. When my car breaks, So here's the deal. Tim's will pick up your car if it needs fixing, and they guarantee you a service appointment. You don't have to go wait. So you can bring it in. Just drive in on a Tuesday or Thursday from 6:30 to 10 if you want to bring it in, and there's no wait, no hassle service. And you want to help kids get an education, Tim's can help you with that too. During the month of February, if you buy a new or used car, Tim's Auto Group will donate $100 to an endowment for Prescott Unified School District. Tim's Auto Service.
Discover card. I missed a payment. Oh, shoot. Shoot, this is bad. No, we're good. This is your first time missing a payment. And you've got the IT card, so we won't hike up your APR for paying late. That's great. It is great. Thank you.
At Discover, we treat you like you'd treat you. Get the IT card with late payment forgiveness.
DQ Bakes just changed the sandwich game forever. Premium sandwiches on focaccia and ciabatta, hot out of our new ovens, with premium ingredients like this for less than $5. Sorry, overpriced sandwich places. There's a whole new way to DQ.
Think about it. There must be higher love down in the heart and in the stars above.
Terry Bradshaw? What a surprise. You know what else is a surprise? Shingles. And I can hit you out of nowhere. I know. I had it. Come on, let's sit down and talk about it. And did you know that 1 in 3 people will get shingles?
No. That's why I'm reminding people, if you had chicken pox, then the shingles virus is already inside you. Ooh. Who's had chicken pox?
Scoot over and look. That nasty rash can pop up anywhere, and the pain
Can be even worse than it looks. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about a vaccine that can help prevent shingles.
This portion of the Morning Scramble has been brought to you by Tim's Auto Group. You can count on us, serving Prescott since 1983.
And that is Morning Scramble for this Monday morning. Tomorrow we hope you will join us, because you better not cry, you better not pout, because the IRS is coming to town. It is that time of year. So we have Bill Brunson and a companion on TV to talk to us about what's new with the IRS and how you can slide through the tax season well. Also, Raising the C-Bar, we have a movie company with something very special going on in our area. So that's tomorrow. Do join us. Thanks to my great guest, Bill Weiss. You can hear him at Temple Bridge Salon at 2 o'clock this Sunday about the Borscht Belt. Nornie Isley, a children's author, and Dane Chinnick, a plein air artist from Sedona and Prescott. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching AZTV 7, Arizona's own.
Today on Rachel Ray. Daddies and their daughters put these hairstyling products to the test in an all-new Human Lab. Grammy Award winner Brandy.
I can't stop smiling. Me either.
And he has never seen his soulmate until now.
Hi.
For the first time in daytime history, this deserving couple will get engaged, plan a wedding, and get married, all in just one unforgettable week. And now, are you ready for Rachel?